That night, I thought I would just fall asleep like always. But I was wrong. The moment I felt a cold hand sliding slowly across my thigh, I knew something was in my room. What happened after still haunts me, because it didn't just scare me, it wanted me. I remember lying down that night, my body heavy with exhaustion, my head sinking deep into the pillow. The room was quiet, too quiet, the kind of silence that makes you hyper-aware of every shift in the air. The blanket was loose across my body, leaving my legs half uncovered. I curled slightly to one side, trying to get comfortable, telling myself it would be just another night of restless sleep. But I couldn't have been more wrong. At first, it was just a feeling, the strange weight of the air pressing against my skin. My chest rose and fell a little faster, like my body was responding to something I couldn't yet see. The hairs on my arms lifted, the back of my neck prickled. I tried to convince myself it was just the chill from the open window, but then I felt it, the faintest touch brushing the side of my thigh, so light it could have been the edge of the blanket sliding down, but it lingered. It traced. My muscles tensed as if every nerve had been exposed. I froze, holding my breath, waiting for it to fade. It didn't. Instead, the sensation grew bolder, a slow drag of invisible fingers mapping the shape of my leg. My mind screamed for logic, a dream, a trick, a shadow. But dreams don't make your pulse thunder in your ears like this. Shadows don't make your lips part in trembling breaths. I was awake, and I was not alone. I shifted slightly under the blanket, testing if it was me, if it was some trick of the fabric. The touch followed, deliberate, precise. My heart hammered harder, and a cold sweat slid down my back. And yet, beneath the fear, there was something else, a heat blooming low inside me that I didn't want to admit. Then it moved higher, to my hip, pressing just firmly enough to let me know this was no accident. The pressure lingered, as though whoever or whatever done was there was claiming space. My breath came shallow, my lips parting to whisper, but no sound escaped. I wanted to scream, I wanted to run, but my body didn't obey. Instead, I stayed still, trembling, my skin burning beneath the invisible hand that seemed to know exactly where to go. And just when I thought it couldn't get worse, I felt it lean closer, not with a sound, not with a shadow I could see, but with the warmth of breath against my bare shoulder. The night wasn't quiet anymore. It was alive. And I realized in that moment, it wasn't just fear keeping me frozen. I don't know how long I stayed frozen waiting for it to stop, but the longer I waited, the stronger it became. The mattress dipped, slow and deliberate, like weight was being added beside me. My eyes stayed shut, but I could feel it. The shift of the bed, the press of the air, the undeniable presence inches away. Then came the hand again, sliding from my hip to my waist. Not rushed, not forceful, patient, intentional. The kind of touch that knew it didn't need to hurry because I wasn't going anywhere. My breath hitched, and I clutched the edge of the blanket, desperate for something to anchor me. I tried to move, but my body betrayed me. It wasn't paralysis. It wasn't fear locking me in place. It was something else, a strange pull, a tension that blurred the line between terror and anticipation. Every inch of skin it touched lit up, leaving sparks of heat in its wake. The air shifted near my face, warmer now, like a breath hovering just above my lips. I could smell it, earthy, faintly sweet, and oddly intoxicating. It wrapped around me, dizzying, like an invisible fog pulling me deeper into its presence. My pulse pounded, uneven, my chest rising too quickly as I tried to catch my breath, and then I felt fingers in my hair, gentle at first, combing through the strands, gathering them as if memorizing the shape of my head. The sensation sent a shiver across my scalp, down my spine. It lingered there, as though inhaling me, breathing me in. A low sound followed, almost satisfied, vibrating through the silence. I wanted to believe I was dreaming, but dreams don't breathe against your neck. Dreams don't hold your hair as if savoring the scent of you. Dreams don't whisper in a voice so close you can feel it inside your bones. The whisper came again, not words I could understand, but a tone, possessive, claiming, as if saying, "You're mine." The weight beside me shifted. The mattress creaked faintly, as if a knee pressed into it near my hip. My whole body tensed, waiting, dreading, aching. My lips trembled as I drew in a shaky breath, the sound loud in the stillness. The touch slid lower now, tracing the line of my thigh once more, slower, firmer. It moved upward, pausing at the edge of my shorts, hovering just enough to make me shiver uncontrollably. My breath broke into a soft gasp, unbidden. I pressed my lips together, terrified of making another sound, terrified of what it might do if it knew how much I felt it. The air around me grew heavy, humming with energy. I couldn't see but could feel in every part of my body. My thoughts blurred. My fear was tangled with something far more dangerous, a heat I couldn't fight. I stayed there, trembling, caught between the instinct to run and the undeniable pull to stay. And that was the moment I realized this wasn't just a presence. It wasn't passing through. It had chosen me. The mattress shifted again, firmer this time, like knees pressing into the bed on either side of me. My breath caught in my throat as I felt the blanket slide lower, inch by inch, exposing more of my body to the cool night air. I clutched at the sheets, but it didn't matter. They moved on their own, tugged away by something unseen. Fingers traced my waist again, slower now, deliberate, as though testing how much further they could go. My body arched involuntarily, a reaction I couldn't control, torn between panic and something far more dangerous. My chest rose in uneven breaths, each inhale sharp, each exhale trembling. Then, near my ear came the whisper, low, close. It wasn't a language I could recognize, but the meaning pressed into me all the same. A promise, a claim. My blood ran cold, yet my skin burned where it touched me. I dared to open my eyes, just a fraction, and that's when I saw it. Not a form, not a face, but an indentation on the blanket beside me. The clear shape of a hand pressing down against the fabric. Long fingers. Too long. It remained there, firm, as though reminding me this wasn't my imagination. The touch slid across my stomach now, stopping just below my ribs, hovering there as if deciding what to do next. I bit my lip, too afraid to make a sound. My body shook with adrenaline, yet I didn't push it away. I couldn't. A terrifying realization sank in. I didn't want to. The presence leaned closer, the warmth of its breath brushing my neck, making every hair on my body rise. My mind screamed to turn on the light, to end this, but my body refused. The scent returned, stronger than ever, earthy and sweet, filling my lungs until I felt dizzy. Then came the moment that changed everything. A sound escaped it, soft, satisfied, almost human, and with that the weight lifted. The air grew lighter, the mattress smoothed itself, the handprint vanishing before my eyes. I sat up quickly, gasping, my heart hammering as I scanned the room. Empty, silent, The only sound was my own breath, ragged and uneven. For a moment I thought it was over, a nightmare, a hallucination. But then I looked at the foot of my bed. The blanket was still indented, the clear shape of knees pressing down, as if something had been kneeling there the entire time. And just as I stared at it, the impression shifted, slowly, deliberately, and then it was gone. The silence that followed was worse than any scream. Even now I don't know what it was, but I do know one thing. Once it finds you, it doesn't leave. It waits. It waits for the next time you close your eyes. Have you ever felt something, or someone, in your bed when you knew you were alone? Share your story in the comments. Subscribe to Paranormal Sleep for more chilling midnight encounters, because the next story might be yours.